What you guys, got another video here for you. Is Windows Defender good enough in Windows 10? Is it good enough to protect my system from malware, ransomware and other types of infections? Now, Windows Defender does come built into Windows 10 as standard, and by default it's turned on. So if you install another piece of antivirus software, this will get disabled by default. Now, some people like to use Windows security, i.e. their firewall, and also their Windows Defender protection program, which is built into Windows 10. As you can see here, we've got some options available. So virus threats and protection settings. There's not much here, to be honest. You've got some ransomware protection here, but it's not the best in the world. It does control folder access, but it's quite limited. And again, when people ask me this question, I always tell them that, you know, you're going to need a lot of common sense when you're using this on its own. Real-time protection is there for Windows Defender. Cloud delivered protection is there as well. Automatic sample submission is on here as well. Tamper protection, controlled folder access, exclusions and notifications. But is this enough? You also get a built-in firewall, which personally I've never used. I don't like it. It doesn't do a great job. It just lets everything through. And of course, if you're running as administrator, which most people are, as default, Windows will make you administrator straight away. Hence why malware is so easy to inject itself onto the system. So will this protect you? It will protect you to a degree, but what I found over the years is on its own, it's just not good enough on its own. You need something either to replace it or to work in conjunction with it. So what is that? Well, if you want to use a piece of software that works with Windows Defender because you like it, because it doesn't do pop-ups and you don't have to install any third-party software and stuff like that, the problem is you're going to be very disappointed, because you will have to eventually put something like Malwarebytes Premium on to give you a much better protection. So you can see here, Malwarebytes Premium is not a free version. Now, some people like to just use the free version and then run scans once in a while, but to be honest, it's not quite good enough. What you need is that real-time protection, and that's what Malwarebytes Premium gives you. It's basically giving you a two-prong attack. You're getting like Windows Defender protection alongside Malwarebytes Premium protection. So you're getting your real-time protection here, web protection, malware protection, ransomware protection and exploit protection, all in one piece of software. So you can add your stuff in here. So it's going to give you a little bit more control. You've also got Malware and Pop Protection. Now, this is probably the most common type of protection that is needed, because most people will get infected with pups, which are unwanted programs, basically, or potentially unwanted programs. And this is what generally happens with Windows 10. Windows 10 is still one of the most secure operating systems that Windows or Microsoft have come out with over the years. It's probably one of the most secure. You don't see as many infestations on these PCs nowadays because of the way it's built and structured. But again, with this sort of layout, you get a lot more protection. So I would say, if you are going to be using Windows Defender, maybe consider getting yourself something like Malwarebytes Premium to work alongside Windows Defender. Now, it does come with a bunch of other settings you can mess around with here. You can set this up to how you like. You got your notifications here and your security. You can see a bunch of other things like scan for rootkits, scan within archives and other things like that. So it just gives you that little bit more protection. You can see here also, always register Malwarebytes in with Windows Security Center. Now, this is on by default and I've turned it off, and the reason why is because it basically replaces Windows 10 security with this program. So it's going to put this as its default. Let me just show you here. If I turn this on and go back here into here, and we go back into Windows Security and open up the security pane here. Where are we? there we go. You'll see that Malwarebytes is inside here, and this is now starting to take over, I think, Windows Defender. But with that off, I think you can have them working in conjunction together, as far as I understand. So now you can see, now we've got this all back, which is basically giving us full control of both of these. So pretty decent if you want them working side by side. What is the footprint like on it? Is it really sort of resource hungry? As you can see here, let me just show you. I've got my recorder running here, and there's not much activity going on. Got Malwarebytes here, and we've also got our firewall, which I would recommend you get. What firewall can you get? Well, you can get yourself whatever firewall you like. I prefer Zone Alarm, and it's a free version. This is it here. You can download and use this for free. It does give you some ransomware protection, also gives you more control of what's going in and out of your computer. So working alongside Malwarebytes Premium, Zone Alarm, Free Firewall, and also Windows Defender will be a really decent combo for protecting your system. And with that, you can add a bit of common sense, and you're pretty much golden right there. You should be good to go. Now, what if you don't like Windows Defender altogether? And if you don't like Windows Defender, some people don't, that's fine. You can always replace that with something like Bitdefender Antivirus Free Edition, and what that will do is when you install it, it will disable Windows Defender. So what about Malwarebytes Premium on its own? I just don't think that Malwarebytes Premium on its own is quite good enough to keep your system safe. So it's sort of a, you know, you have to have them working together to make it worth doing. And you can see down here, that's my setup at the moment. I've got Zone Alarm Free Firewall, and I've also got Malwarebytes Premium on here, and I've also got my Windows Defender running. So just to finish off here, if you are going to use Windows Defender as your main protection here on the system, then I would advise you to pair it up with something like Malwarebytes Premium to work alongside it, and that way you get much better protection. And then get yourself a different firewall than the one that's built into Windows, because you can see mine's turned off because I'm using Zone Alarm, which is a lot more better protection. And I'm pretty sure if you use that with some common sense, you'll be a lot more secure and a lot more safer. Also, don't forget, you don't want to be running that as administrator if possible, because obviously running as administrator just allows malware just to inject itself on the system and just install itself because you are the administrator. That shouldn't be the case. Other than that, what you want to be doing is using that method. If you don't want to use that method, then by all means go and get yourself a piece of software, whether it be Kaspersky or Bitdefender, paid software. If you want to use that, then you won't need Zone Alarm. If it's the internet security version, it will come with a firewall and an antivirus together. You won't need Zone Alarm at all. You would be able to use that on its own. You won't need Malwarebytes then, and you could do that sort of scenario if you want to as well. It will automatically disable Windows Defender. Okay, now if you want to go down the route of the free antivirus, then Bitdefender free with Zone Alarm, and you're good to go. It will automatically disable Windows Defender, and that will be fine as well. You choose which one right for you, and I shall see you again for another video tomorrow. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the red subscribe button and then hit the bell notification button and click all to be notified when we upload new videos.